Hello.
What's up, rock star?
Hey, how are you?
Loving that picture of you, man.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys are keeping Glam Rock wide open. Man, I'm telling you, that was my whole entire childhood.
Yeah, it's what I grew up on too, it's what I love, and the pageantry, the theatrics, the whole glamour of it is just so cool.
Well, and you guys bring attitude in the music as well, because I mean, I love working for the weekend. I love the video that went with it, and I love the real badass attitude that you put into those vocals.
Yeah, that was such a cool song to be able to do. And as a kid, man, it was a song I remember growing up riding around in the car with my dad, singing "Working for the Weekend," and here we are doing a glam rock version of it, a real down and dirty street rock song. It's great.
But you know what's really interesting about Midnight Devils is the fact that there are many people that try to be a glam rock band. You guys live it. I mean, I can tell by watching the videos, the interviews, and stuff like that. This is the real deal with you guys.
Absolutely, it's not a big stretch from us walking up on stage to the way we look every day when we walk around the street. It's just that we kind of turn it up to 11. We turn it past 11, and we call it hyper glam. But it's really a cool creative extension of our artistic selves. You know, it's not a lot of bands have the balls to walk around wearing lipstick and glitter.
I'll tell you what, thanks to the movie Thor, rock is back. I mean, it's really going to come back strong, and we needed a movie like this to really open up the door for even you guys. It's time to walk through that door and make some noise.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, we're coming to the point where what happens when bands like Motley Crue and Def Leppard, while we love those bands, what happens when they retire? Who's coming next? And I really feel like we're kind of the guys that are following in their footsteps and doing it the old school way of touring, putting out records, and just playing live music anywhere there's a venue.
Are you guys inside the studio together, or are you building it one track at a time?
We were in the studio together. We did it all right over quarantine. We did it at Chip's house in Blue Island, Illinois. It was incredible, and it was such a weird time because the world had kind of shut down. So we kind of just took that time as a sign that it was we got to do this record. We got to put out the best possible piece that we can put out.
I got to tell you, during that lockdown time, I was still blessed with the opportunity to talk with Tesla and all the big bands and stuff like that. But there were some very afraid musicians in that moment. How did you find the strength to continue writing music?
It was tough. It was tough to keep doing what we all love, because much like everybody else, we didn't know if we were going back out. We thought it was going to be 2 weeks. We were actually on tour with the Choir Boys down in New Orleans when it happened, and the world shut down. They sent us all home, and we're just like, what do we do now? But somebody told me that it really leveled the playing field. It leveled the playing field for every band everywhere. Everybody was stuck at home. So the key was to keep engaging our fans, the fans out there, the music fans, because they needed this just as much as we did.
Yeah, and especially now with this new album and stuff like that, you know, people have got angst built up inside of them. Don't you think that rock music helps release that angst?
Yeah, I think it's a way to, almost a stress reliever. Yeah. I think that's really what it is. It's kind of a way to get out and to let go of all the bad and kind of focus on good for just a little while. Even if it's just a couple hours, we're all there to party. We're all there to celebrate. We're all there to be ourselves and be in that moment.
We got to talk about the performance, the way that you guys handle those guitars. You know, so many times we think we're driving that guitar. I'm telling you, they're driving you. I mean, the body movement, everything you guys are doing is like, damn, that's the way you're supposed to move on a stage.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's the reason that we're like that is because we're just as excited as the people in the audience. We're just as excited to be up there playing with our buddies. You know, we just got back from Rockfest, and I'm telling you, it was the most excited I've ever been on stage, staring out into a bunch of people at a festival that you couldn't help but move. You couldn't help but just blow the place up.
Is there an art to mastering music in 2022, or is it, hey, look, we have this opportunity to make our own sound. Let's grow with this, and let's, let people discover us, just like they did at Tower Records or even Musicland?
Yes, you're absolutely right. We're doing it the way that I feel we're doing it the old school way. The blueprint had been written. We're not out reinventing the wheel. We're following in the footsteps of those guys that toured and put out records and just did it that old school way. There's no easy way to success. You got to get out there and win the hearts and minds one person at a time. That's exactly how it is. That's how it's been done for years. And I really think that's the what we're following in that path of playing live music to people.
I love me some Adam Levine, but I love your hair, and you know rock has to have the hair. I mean, Adam, I'm sure, is great, but you got to have the hair because that's part of the performance as well as the attitude.
The hair is it's a huge deal. It's you wake up every day and it's like that song. What is the Turn the Page song, the Bob Seger song?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell if he's a girl or guy walked in the restaurant. It's true, and it's really cool. And we know everywhere we go, because of the way we look, people are gonna stare. But that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what the Midnight Devils are about. And yeah, I love it. I love the attention.
Oh my God. And it's a magnet. And that's what I love about it. I mean, everybody wants to come up and touch my hair. And it's like, touch it. You're going to see that it's very real. And there's a lot of love that went into this thing.
It is every day. It's the upkeep every day, but it's what makes it's the rebellion. Yeah. You know, the what makes this such a cool thing.
Are you moosing it up? I mean, what are you doing to because I mean, I don't see you sitting there ratting it every day, are you?
Yeah, every day. Well, not every day, but every day that we go on stage, yeah. And it's just hairspray and love. Yeah. Hairspray and a little layer of glitter that hold it up.
I'm so into that. And the thing is that the whole entire you getting ready to go on the stage, that's got to be an extra an hour and a half to get you ready to hit that stage.
It normally does take about an hour, but on the recent tours, you're blessed with 30 minutes and a mirror in some bathroom. And so you kind of get good at it because like, okay, we got a limited amount of time, we got to go. And I think the last one we did, we all got dressed outside using the mirrors on the van in the middle of the daylight in the sun, getting dressed out in this field to go up on stage in front of 1,000 people.
See, that's the stuff that used to grow inside an album sleeve. I mean, you would pull out those stories and read about the band, or you'd pick up a Cream magazine and say, oh my God, they're really living it.
Yeah, and I think that's what it translates so well from us on stage to what the audience is seeing because it is so real. And I think the audience is always rooting for you. The audience is always there to see a good show. And when it translates, when it becomes real life, that makes it that much better and that much more passionate.
Would you say that one of the biggest members of your band is that light show?
The lights?
Yeah.
Yeah. It really plays a big part, and doing shows in the daylight is such a weird thing.
Yep.
And because we're such a visual band, because we're the Midnight Devils, it really lends to this open flow of artistic creativity. We've kind of put ourselves into this cool spot where we can do really whatever we want, and I think the show is such a big part of it. We brought in this huge devil character that's in the working for the weekend, and we bring him on stage. And you wouldn't think it goes over as good, but as soon as he walks on stage, the attitude changes and the whole place just lights up. It is so cool to see.
You're talking about the devil guy that's in working for the weekend, right? Because I mean,
they call him the Pink Bastard. Yes, great. It's just such a good character that is out of the norm.
Is it a roadie? I mean, or are we going to keep that a secret?
No, he's actually my cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, he's actually my cousin, and we're working on him to be the tour manager
too. See, now do you when you go out there and you're on the stage and stuff like that? I mean, I grew up in a garage band, so therefore, I mean, I never have lost that attitude. Is it the same thing for you?
Yes, absolutely. It's exactly like practicing in the garage, 100-degree heat. That whole thing where you're sweating all over yourself.
Yeah.
It's that hunger and that excitement. And like I said, we wouldn't do it if we didn't love it. We wouldn't put on all the miles, all the tours. Once we get out there on the road, I go, man, I really miss this. And I miss that, those few moments as you're walking up on stage going, I don't know how this is going to go, but I know that there's going to be a great story afterwards. So it's that adventure, good or bad. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be something that we're going to be talking about later in the day.
Oh, that feeling of going up those steps to go out there on that stage. I mean,
Yeah.
I call it the transition walk.
And I tell people this, I go, you could have not slept for days. You could be tired. You could be angry. You could be mad. But as soon as you walk up those steps, as soon as the makeup starts going on, it's like a shot of lightning. And you're like, I'm not tired. I feel great. I could do this every day of my life.
So what kind of makeup are you using? Because I mean, when I was a kid, the name of our band was Painted Face, and of course we painted our faces. But man, when I would sweat, that junk would get in my eyes and burn like hell.
Yeah, I just use it's pure and simple. We use clown white makeup.
Nice.
That's it. And that's it. That's what we use. And it comes off like you sweat it off really bad. But I also think that's part of the show when you're like, the guy's melting in front of me. He's working so hard. This rock and roll. This is so cool.
How many times though after the show do you get that glimpse in the mirror and you go, yeah, that's it. You did it, dude.
I do it every time, and especially in the opening shows. We'll do the set and have to go to the merch table, and I'll have to go back and kind of adjust myself because I look terrible. It just melted off.
Where's the tour taking you right now?
We are doing festivals right now. So we were just in Wisconsin for Rock Fest. Now we're headed to Grand Island, Nebraska. They do this really cool original music thing in the middle of Nebraska. You wouldn't think it, but they'll bring in 1,000 people to come celebrate original music right in Nebraska. And then we go to St. Joe, Missouri, and then on to St. Louis opening for Slaughter.
Oh my God, I've been with the guys of Slaughter. Holy crap, dude, they're down to earth, man.
Yeah, I'm very excited that such a huge record and such a huge band still to this day. And, they're expecting a huge turnout, sellout crowd, and it's just incredible that they're still doing it.
Do you see the perseverance in the fan when you walk out on that stage? Because those fans, the reason why they're there is because they want the experience of live rock music.
I do. I see it with our fans that have come and seen us before. Like you said, the ones that are coming back, the ones that are there, the ones that come dressed up and have made art. I love it. And I love seeing that excitement because that was me as a kid.
Yep.
And I wish that there was a band like this when we were kids, a glam band, a celebration band. I also see it in the people that have never seen us before, that when their jaws hit the ground as soon as we walk out on stage. And they know, everybody stays around. As soon as we walk out of the dressing room, nobody leaves the room because they know it's either going to be good or bad, but it's going to be some big story that they're going to be able to tell when they walk away.
I can totally relate with that story because in 1977, I was going to see some group called AC/DC, but they were the first band. I'm going, well, what the hell? Why aren't they the second band? And the second band was this group called Kiss. My life changed.
Yep. That's exactly what happened to me, too. It was Detroit Rock City for me. I heard Detroit Rock City, everything changed. And that was the kind of the catalyst, and has still been the catalyst for me personally. Like it day in, day out, the Kiss attitude, the Kiss mindset, the take no prisoners, we're coming no matter what.
Yeah. So how do you get fans to go to track 2, 3, 4? Because I'm an album listener, but so many of these listeners are one-track minds. And it's like, how do we get them to, because you've got 10 tracks on this new album.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's about writing strong songs and about the way you structure an album, the way you interest people in the songs and the albums coming out. How are the people going to be able to relate to the songs that are on this record? Yeah. I think that's really what keeps it going. And you peak them with a good single, and you peak them with what's the follow-up song to that single. What are the people going to hear, and what are they going to hear live?
It's interesting you say that because I just talked about this on iHeartRadio that I have a difficult time listening to old songs because it takes me back, and it's harder than hell to get back up to where we are now. It's new music like yours that gives me the opportunity to create a new soundtrack.
Absolutely. I love that. And that's such a cool way to think about it, because it is, when you listen to those old songs, you go, it takes you back to that time and place where you first heard it. Mm-hmm. And right now we're creating memories, creating energy, creating just this sonic place and time to call our own. And it's not something old, it's something new, and it's something exciting.
What are you going to do when you hop onto YouTube sometime and there's going to be some kid with an acoustic guitar playing one of your songs?
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be so cool. And we got our first reaction video, and I thought that was such a big deal. Like some guy listening to our song, commenting and reacting to the video. I was like, okay, I think we might have made it here. YouTube reaction video.
I was talking with one of the top dogs of TikTok last week, and they said that, you know, that everybody's coming to TikTok. This is where the musicians want to be seen first. How do you prepare yourself for a TikTok world?
I don't even know. I haven't even graduated over to TikTok yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Which we're such a visual band that I think it would be great. But a lot of the times you're living in that moment, and it's hard to really capture everything that you're doing on video or for TikTok. And I really think that it kind of ruins the spontaneity and the mystique of the whole thing.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, those are like the words from Bob Seger, because Bob Seger would say, I'm not, you don't film my concert. You are not getting the experience if you're watching it on a video. And then when I finally caught Bob Seger, it was like, geez, I understand.
Yeah, I get that a lot with being around. So being around Chip, we'd tour with Enough's Enough so much, and we would always hang out. Every night on the tour, we'd hang out and have dinner. And it was one of those moments where I didn't even want to look at my phone because I thought I would miss something and miss something that he would say and some little nugget of wisdom or some story that I needed to hear. So I would just, you wouldn't even look at your phone for hours and hours because we're all hanging out, and you just don't want to miss a minute of this rock and roll madness.
So true. So will you eventually make your way down to the Carolinas?
Yeah, I believe we're coming down. I believe maybe the second leg of the Glam Slam Metal Jam tour starts. It goes down south and through Texas and Florida.
All right, man. We got to get together for some Southern barbecue. All right.
Hey, no problem.
What's the website where listeners can go discover music? You know, continue to follow you. I'm sure you've got merchandise, man. I see the pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. As a Kiss fan, you know I do, and I really think that the Midnight Devils lends itself to creating really cool merch. And the cool thing is that we get people like our friends to create the merch and then turn around and put it on our merch table. All of it is shipped from my house to anywhere around the world. I just got an order from Belgium today. So you go to themidnightdevils.com, and everything is shipped with love from Nebraska out to the world. And it goes directly to supporting and funding the tours that we go on. Themidnightdevils.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're a very active social media band. So drop a comment, drop a like, whatever you do, we'll find it and we'll become friends.
That's one of the things I wanted to bring up about, you're from Omaha, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, God, just to say, we're from Omaha. I mean, my God, that's got attitude all over, because who's from Omaha?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's like, Omaha. Did they just say Omaha? These are Nebraska boys out here dressed in, like, wearing a skirt and a filthy prom dress. Yeah, sometimes it gets crazy, but I really think that we have that cool opportunity to go to either coast, in one day.
Yep.
The driving's easy, the travel's easy, and we really have that Midwest sound. That sound is in our music, and it's distinctive, whether it be the Chicago sound or coming from Omaha.
Did you ever get out there on a haystack? And the reason why I bring that up is because I'd go down to Ranchester, Wyoming all the time, and I'd take my guitar out there, and that haystack, maybe 10 bales high, I'd be up there on top pretending I was at the biggest rock concert on the face of the planet.
I never did. I grew up in a city, and that's one of the things that everybody asks, oh, you grew up in a cornfield? And I was like, no, I grew up in a city. I've always been a city boy. Nebraska just is a little bit slower and a little bit easier than most places.
I love it. Dude, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
I would love to. I really appreciate you talking to me, man. I can tell how excited you are and how excited, being a Kiss fan, being a new rock and roll fan, looking for those bands coming down the pike. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you could reach out and send me your address, and I'll ship one of our CDs out to you.
Dude, I thank you so much. I'll do that.
Absolutely. My pleasure. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.